Okay. Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have Andrea Logan back, and we had a little mishap last time she was here. It's her fault. We shot the show. I went to edit, and it disappeared. Where it is, I don't know. So we're going to redo it, and we're going to do it even better this time, because it was good last time, and this time we'll make it even better. Anyway, Andrea's here, Andrea Logan. She's a fitness coach. Among other things, she's in awesome shape. And we're going to talk a little bit about her history, what she's done and what she's doing now, and some of the reality shows she's been on, because it's very inspiring, and she's a wonderful woman. I'm really happy to have her back. In fact, I lost the video on purpose just to get her back here. What can I say? These things happen. So Andrea, let's talk for a minute about the beginning of your career in fitness and why you did what you did and what brought you into it.
Well, as a kid, I played sports my whole life. Then I went to college and played basketball and volleyball, D1. I was fortunate enough to be an athlete to help pay for school.
Yeah.
But then along that journey, I developed a really bad monster of eating disorder, bulimia, and it stuck with me through pretty much after my daughter was born, so after 28.
What causes that?
I think a lot of things: perfection, control, just not feeling like you are enough.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many trigger points. It could be from you're a star athlete and then now you're the sixth man going on a court. It could be you felt like maybe you weren't good enough for your parents, or you didn't make enough grades, and then you might feel like you don't have control of your life, and that's one thing you can control. Nobody can take it from you. It's your monster.
Right. There's probably several ways you can direct it, though. Other than bulimia, there's a lot of other ways to do this kind of stuff.
Oh,
this is just the one that you picked.
That's the monster I picked.
You went down the list and say, "Well, I'll take that one."
I like to eat, so I got to taste it all.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, my parents thought I was like on drugs because I was spending so much money on food.
I know in the past few bodybuilders that were really good bodies that did the same thing. I'd eat with them, they'd go throw up, and then they start all over again. I don't like to throw up because it makes me sick.
Yeah, and it's not good for your esophagus, your teeth.
No. It's kind of funny because I don't think I've ever thrown up since I was about 5 years old. However, about 2 weeks ago, I had gone to dinner and I had sushi, which was fine. And I came home and my daughter came in and she says, "Hey, I just bought some Reese's Pieces ice cream. Would you like some?" I said, "Sure." And she put a little hot fudge on it. Well, I don't do that very often, but I don't think it mixed well with the sushi. So around 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm sound asleep. All of a sudden, I feel this thing all the way up to the bottom of my chin, burning like mad. Oh my God, I hopped up and went to the bathroom. I didn't throw up, but it was right there. Yeah. Oh man, I said, no, I can't do this. This is not good. And so I calmed down. I took a couple of Tums, and I had some stuff called Privosec. That my doctor gave me because they said that it would create sinus problems and my stomach's not digesting problems. So I took that and I was fine the next day. Yeah. But it had to do with what I ate. Yeah. It had to. Because last night I had been eating clean all week, and last night I was home. It was kind of warm out, and I broke out the ice cream. I had about maybe a half a scoop. It didn't happen again, but it sure tasted good.
Yeah.
So how did you get through that, and how did you get over it?
Well, I was fortunate enough to find good counselors and therapists, and then I went out to Arizona, and there's an eating disorder clinic out there.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And back when I had it, it was just the beginning, so there wasn't like today's time where there's help everywhere. And I was fortunate enough to be on the right path, and I had people behind me supporting me and cheering me on, but I had to do it for myself. So even when you come out, it's sort of, I'm assuming, sort of like a 12-step program, drug addiction. It doesn't stop it, but you have to find avenues to help you continue to do so. So I stayed with a therapist throughout probably until last year, and that I just have to bounce things off of.
How do you control at this point?
Eating right and my exercise. For me, if I can stay on a regiment program, I know I can cheat. Now, for 8 years, I ate the same thing every single day, every meal. I knew it worked. I knew I wasn't gaining weight. But then as you see your body changing, becoming from skinny, and you're getting stronger, and you're growing a little bit muscle, and then you're weighing more, but you're still wearing the same size, your mind clicks. And for some reason, it clicked with me, and I said, you know what? Now I can cheat a little. Now I can enjoy food a little bit and not just go batshit over it.
It's funny because I was thinking to myself as well. I ate the same thing for 13 years. There was a restaurant over here, and I trained down at World Gym in Panorama City. I'd come down the street and I'd stop for lunch, and I'd get a tuna omelet every day. Cold tuna in an omelet. Now my theory was, it's not a tuna sandwich, it's an omelet, and the eggs wrap around the tuna like a sandwich would. Although the eggs have no flavor, really.
That's right.
But it's without eating the bread. So I'd have the tuna omelet, and I'd have cottage cheese, and sometimes they'd give me a piece of cornbread for dessert, which didn't have a whole lot of sugar. But I ate it every day, and I stayed in really good shape.
Yes.
Then someone told me, said that you got to change it up because your body gets used to it and it won't work anymore. Well, it worked for me for all those years.
Yeah, it worked for me.
I had it today for lunch, the same thing, different restaurant. But I don't know about you, but when you're on a roll with something, especially at my age, and I had good results those years, I still want to eat that way. I can't deviate and go eat a burger and fries and a shake, although I had a little bit of that a couple of weeks ago. I shared it with my girlfriend just because it did taste good. Yeah, we went to Bob's Big Boy, had a burger, ate most of it, some of the bread, no. She had a shake, I had a drink of it, she had the fries, and it was good for a moment. You know, I wouldn't do it every day. But I think that when your body gets adjusted to absorbing proteins and this from this, it seems to work all the time.
It does. Unfortunately, mine was so regimented that I wasn't enjoying my life anymore for a while.
Yeah.
I was just so focused. So now I know how to take half of a cookie if I want it. Take one bite of a piece of chocolate. I won't engage in the whole thing because I used to eat sheet cakes by itself. I used to eat 3 dozen donuts. I would eat a whole pizza. I would eat a whole thing of Oreo, all in one set, you know, bam. So now I know how to take those in all little pieces and be okay with it. And Mexican's my favorite cheap food, so I enjoy Mexican food.
I get chicken enchiladas with extra chicken, easy on the sauce. The rice and beans together, yes, there's a little bit of fat in there, but they're a complete amino acid together.
Yeah.
So I think I'm safe with that. I remember we used to just eat Oreos when I was back in school. I don't want to say college because I kind of didn't do too well there. But I would come home before I train. I'd eat half a dozen Oreo cookies before my workout.
Yeah.
For the sugar, and it worked. I mean, I wouldn't do that now. But you get to a point, too, when you're dieting all the time, and you come home and you say, oh my God, I need some sugar, and you start eating cookies, and there's crumbs, and you shake it, and you drink the crumbs.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's like, and then I knew I was going crazy.
Yeah.
That's going crazy.
Yeah, well, I, unfortunately, like, when you deviate your body and you're throwing up, your body does crave sugar, and you get the shakes, and you'll even throw something in the trash can, then you know it hasn't been in there too long, you take it out. You'll sit there saying, oh, that's going to waste, but you get all shaky, and you need it because you deprived yourself of everything. And I remember times I couldn't get food in fast enough because I had taken everything out, depleted it, and then you just get shaky, and it's sugar. That's what you go to. Yeah,
I've done that before, but now when we go out, I just share. I'll share a cake, and I'll have 3 or 4 bites, and she'll say, well, have some more. I really know what it tastes like. I don't need it. I already know it's good. I don't need more to tell me it's good, because then I'll feel bloated. I know how I feel after. I don't like that feeling.
Right, yes.
Nope, won't do it. So this got you into bodybuilding as well?
Really, I've never even did a show, but it made me want to show people that you can stay at a certain place, you can stay healthy looking, and be a kind of a role model to women and men, and let them know that you don't have to fluctuate, you can maintain. And for especially women today, strong is becoming more popular, but there is still that fear of carrying muscle.
Oh, there's so much of that.
Yeah, so that's one reason. After I decided that I wanted to be healthy and do a path, mine was to show women that strong is good. Yeah,
it is good. You know, I mean, so many people in the past, and women especially when I was out in public and say, need to work out, I don't want to put muscle on. I said, it's not that easy. You don't gain muscle that easy, trust me. You've got to work out hard, heavy weights, and really put a lot into it. But if you do it, your muscle in your body is what shapes the contour of your physique or your build, and that's what gives you the look. And then the skin over the top of it makes it all come together. It doesn't have to be big and huge; it just has to be in shape. Yeah, and unfortunately, since I moved from the South to here, I still train a few people. They're like, I can't, no, I don't want to be bulky like you, I don't want this, I don't want that. And I said, you can't. No, you can't. I'm sorry, there's no way possible. No. And lifting those 5-pounders are not going to do it, but you still battle it, I think, wherever you go. It's a person finding the right formula for themselves. Exactly. I'm happy the way I am. Yeah. Am I a big girl? Yeah, I am. I weigh more than I've ever weighed, and if I go on a scale, but my lean muscle is so much better. Yeah. But unfortunately, people think skinny, then you have skinny fat, which is a dangerous one because it's the inside. So people want to be skinny,
But if you have no muscle, you're skinny fat, and it's the danger that's going on inside behind it.
That's funny. We used that term back in the 70s.
Well, it's still there.
Yeah, skinny fat. 213 pounds skinny fat. 220 ripped and muscular.
Yeah.
You know, I lost weight, but I'm skinny and fat now.
Yes.
So that does happen.
Yes.
And I also notice in the gym with a lot of women that train there, their weight fluctuates more than men. They can go up 20 pounds and they go down 20 pounds. They go up 40 pounds, come down 20 pounds. Men usually stay about the same.
Yeah, they do. They do. And women, I think sometimes, like for me, I really got huge for a minute until my daughter said, Mom, you're really getting big. But I started liking to find that I was lifting heavier. And like instead of a 40, I was now to a 50-pound dumbbell or 135 bench press to 175. But then you fluctuate. You're watching your muscles grow.
You fill out.
And you really do fill out. So you've got to find that happy medium if you want to find happiness.
Let me ask you a question about that since you brought it up. I think Pete and I talked about this before too. High reps. I've had several people tell me. I mean, I know a lot about training. I'm always learning. I don't say I know everything, even though I put 50 years in, but I listen to people because young guys tell me something new and the older guys tell me something else. And I take it all in and I experiment with it. I started doing the 20 rep thing and the 30 rep I can't do. It's just too much with light weights. And I didn't really notice much.
Now, I do incorporate it in my workout, but I do what's called a heavy lift before I even do a high rep.
Okay, that's my question.
So I do a heavy lift. I'll say, let's do 2 big lifts, heavy lifts. Then I'll take the same body part and then do high reps.
Finish off the reps.
Yes, yeah.
Gotcha, understand.
Yeah, because I feel like everybody needs, if you want to build that muscle, you've got to do heavy.
But people forget, and what I actually forgot, I didn't really forget, but I've always known that in order for a muscle to grow, you have to put demands on it.
You do.
If you don't put the proper demand, it's going to stay the same.
That's right.
So when I was younger in training, I always tried to increase every set, throw another 10 on, throw a 25 on, to keep the muscle used to working harder and harder and harder, and it would fill out. When you come back down and you're doing a light weight, and I did this in the past, the muscle didn't have a demand on it, it would just kind of draw back a little bit, right? So someone says, well, Doug Rignoli says, do 50 reps of a weight. I can't do 50 reps. I don't care if it's 5 pounds. It's boring.
Yeah. No, I sort of, my high reps is more like a CrossFit high rep. So you might have 10 thrusters to 10 kettlebells, but go back to those 10 thrusters, go back where you're just going back and forth for 4 rounds instead of just 50 all at one time.
Oh, yeah, it's just
it's too taxing.
It's very taxing.
Yeah.
Dave Draper told me years ago, he said, be careful on the bicep. It's a small muscle and it'll turn into a peanut if you overwork it.
Yeah.
If you do too much on it. I remember my best reps, and I told this on the show before, was 7 reps. For some reason, 7 would lock into my head. I never used to count, but I'd always know that, oh, that's 7 reps, I'm done. 8, no, 9, no, 6, no, 7.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, there's 21s that used
21s
to
are
be.
good. Remember those?
Yeah,
those are good. I did 15s like that.
Yeah.
5. So then you've gotten some TV work.
Yes, I have. My life has been kind of fast-tracked because I've only been out here a year and a half.
Yeah.
I had a CrossFit gym, sold it, came out here, worked with Dr. H, the Biggest Loser doctor in Malibu, and I was on the Broken Skulls, your friend Steve Austin, which I was the oldest female on there. I was 23 years older than every woman that I competed
against.
That's a plus. That is. Absolutely loved it. And then Strong, which is on there now, I was the back trainer. So when girls got eliminated, instead of going home, they stayed throughout the whole show so they could keep transforming. And they came to me.
Yeah, I see that advertised on TV now.
Yes.
Is the show on?
It's on.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to record it.
Actually on Thursday nights at 8, I believe.
Okay.
It's a great show. The trainers are great. It's a lot of competition, but it's taking women and teaching them from being, kind of soft and have had issues in their life, making them strong and finding a balance in their life. Yeah.
So, Broken Skull's out?
Yeah, Broken Skull came out. My episode was in January. I was the first women's episode when he kicked off.
Is he still doing it?
He is.
He's a great guy.
He's actually, hands down, the friendliest. He talks to all of us. He treats you wonderful. And I lost my shoe during competition. And so he picked up my shoe and handed it to me like a prince. And he goes, I've never done this before.
No, he's a gentleman.
He really is.
Total gentleman.
He is.
That's nice. I'm glad to see him successful because he definitely deserves it. And there are a lot of the wrestlers now. John Cena has a new show.
Yeah, American Grit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like these guys that are WWE are those particular guys are really, really, they got the charisma.
Yes, they do.
They can pull it off.
Yes.
And I when John Cena was working at Gold's Gym front desk, I used to run wrestling shows and I'd hire him for $50.
Oh, wow.
And he was happy to get the work. And he never forgot that. He always thanked me, and he's till to this day he still sends his regards. He's really made it big.
Yeah, I'm glad to see both Steve Austin, Sly Stallone does strong, and then John Cena. One thing I like about he's hired ex-military to be the coaches for the people. So I really like to see the patriotic side.
Absolutely, that's good for America. It's good. He's a good poster boy for all this stuff.
He is.
So what's your plans now?
Actually, there's some few things in the works I can't really say.
Okay.
But I've got things coming. But like I said, being out here, my life's been so fast-tracked. It's like sometimes I'm pinching myself for the people I've met or worked with and had contact with. And you introduced me to Eric the trainer, which is a phenomenal guy.
Yes,
I really have worked with some phenomenal people and trained them.
I was talking to somebody that I grew up with up north from here, and it's not a small town now, but it used to be a very small town. And he had said to me, what would you have done with your life if you had stayed in this town? And it's only 92 miles from here, but it's small. I mean, it's small mentality. I said, I have no clue what I would have done. It's either oil or farming, and I didn't want to do either one. He said, I'm sure you would have stayed and found something, but I said, why would I? Why would I need to? If there's a whole world out there. And my analogy was, I have 2 turtles in there, and I had a small tank. When I got a bigger tank, they got bigger. They grew with the surroundings. I said, living up there, I was limited to a perimeter of the town, and I could only go so far until I was hitting walls.
Right.
So in '65, when I started wrestling, I started wrestling in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Alaska, Hawaii, all over the place, and realizing there's a whole world out there.
Yes.
And there's a lot of opportunity, just like you came here.
Yes.
So when I moved here in '69 to Los Angeles, I was in heaven because this is where I wanted to be. I put my feet on the sands in Venice, and I said, I'm not moving.
Right.
That's it. Everything started to unfold if you have the personality to do so like you do. And things come your way and you start to move and you say, oh my God, I should have done this a long time ago. This is where life is.
It is actually, because I grew up in a very small fishing community in a military town. It was a wonderful place, but there's really no growth.
Yeah.
Then I opened my CrossFit gym, and then CrossFit's just booming everywhere, so you're competing against a ton of others, so there's not a lot of growth. And then I got, Pete brought me up to meet Dr. H, and I got to work with him, and then from that moment on, it's just exploded, and I've just been very fortunate. So
you know why people will see that and something else will come up, and it just snowballs.
Yes.
Just the way it works. Where can people find you on the internet if they want to?
Right now, Andrea Lee Logan on Facebook.
That's Leigh.
Leigh, that's right, not Lee. And then on Instagram and Twitter. And my website is shut down because they're revamping it right now.
Okay, but it will be up soon?
Yes, it will.
I want to thank you for coming back.
Oh, thank you.
I promise not to lose this video. Thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner, and I'll have you a preview for our next show coming up soon. And we'll see you next time. Some things to talk about. I think you guys in the audience will enjoy. Right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start in the beginning. You started as a powerlifter or a strength or what? How'd you start?
I started as a wrestler when I was 13.
Did you? In school?
In school, yeah. I was real skinny, had a little pencil neck and big ears, and I was okay at wrestling, and then I started building my neck up because I was so thin. I wanted to have a bigger neck so I wouldn't get thrown around all the time.
It's RickDrasin.com. He is the